10 signs you're financially self-sabotaging and how to stop. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much you earn, your bank account never seems to grow? You get a raise and somehow your spending grows right along with it. You set a savings goal and somehow you always find a reason to break it. You know exactly what you should be doing with your money, and yet you keep doing the opposite. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the biggest obstacle to building wealth isn't your income, it's you. This is called financial self-sabotage, and most people doing it don't even realize it. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 signs that you might be quietly working against your own financial future and exactly what to do to stop each one. If you recognize even 3 or 4 of these, don't panic. Most people do. The goal isn't guilt, it's awareness. The first sign is treating payday like a reward system instead of a planning opportunity. If the moment money hits your account, your first instinct is to buy something to treat yourself, that's a pattern worth paying attention to. There's nothing wrong with occasionally enjoying your money. The problem is when spending becomes the automatic first response every single time you get paid. This usually stems from associating income with instant gratification rather than long-term security. And the tricky part is, it feels good in the moment, which is exactly why it's so easy to repeat. How to stop it? Before your paycheck even arrives, decide in advance where a portion of it is going. Savings, investments, or bills, before you allow yourself to spend on anything else. This removes the decision-making moment where self-sabotage usually sneaks in. The second sign is avoiding your own bank balance because looking at it makes you anxious. This is incredibly common, and it's rooted in what's sometimes called financial avoidance. If checking your account feels uncomfortable, your brain starts to protect you from that discomfort by simply not looking. The problem is, avoiding the number doesn't change the number. It just means you're making decisions blind. As the saying goes, what gets measured gets managed. If you're not measuring, you're not managing. You're just hoping. How to stop it? Set a specific day each week to check your accounts, no judgment attached. The goal isn't to feel bad about what you see. It's simply to build the habit of looking so the anxiety fades over time through repeated exposure. The third sign is relying on credit cards to cover expenses that your actual income can't support. This one is sneaky because credit doesn't feel like spending your own money, it feels like borrowed time. But every swipe is a promise to your future self that you'll pay for today's decisions later, usually with interest attached. I've talked to people who genuinely didn't realize how much debt they'd built up because it happened $5 at a time over months and years. How to stop it? Start tracking your credit card spending as if it were cash leaving your account in real time, not next month's problem. If you wouldn't buy it with cash in hand, that's usually a sign you shouldn't be buying it on credit either. The fourth sign is making financial decisions based on what other people around you are doing, rather than what actually fits your own situation. This shows up as upgrading your car because a friend got a new one, or booking an expensive trip because everyone on social media seems to be traveling. The comparison trap is one of the most common forms of self-sabotage because it disguises itself as normal social behavior. The truth is, you're usually only seeing a highlight reel, not the full financial picture of the people you're comparing yourself to. How to stop it? Before any non-essential purchase, ask yourself, would I still want this if no one else would ever know I bought it? If the honest answer is no, that's a sign the decision is about image, not genuine value. The fifth sign is being completely unable to say, even roughly, what you spent last month. This isn't about being perfect with numbers, it's about basic awareness. If your spending feels like a mystery even to you, it becomes almost impossible to make meaningful progress because you're optimizing something you can't even see clearly. How to stop it? At the end of each month, spend just 5 minutes reviewing your bank statement and writing down your total spending in 3 or 4 broad categories. You don't need a complicated system, you just need visibility. The sixth sign is a pattern of enthusiastically starting a budget, then quietly giving up on it within a few weeks.
This usually happens because the budget was too restrictive from the start. When a plan feels like punishment, self-sabotage becomes almost inevitable because part of you is looking for a reason to quit. How to stop it? Build a budget that includes a reasonable amount for enjoyment, not just bare necessities. A sustainable plan you can actually stick to beats a perfect plan you abandon after 3 weeks every single time. The seventh, and this one surprises people, is actually feeling guilty when you do save or say no to spending. This often comes from deeper beliefs about deserving things or feeling like saying no to a purchase makes you boring or restrictive. Ironically, this guilt can push people to spend just to relieve the discomfort of saving. How to stop it? Reframe saving as a form of self-respect, not deprivation. Every dollar saved is a vote for your future stability, not a punishment in the present. The eighth sign, and this one surprises people too, is actually feeling guilty when you do save or say no to spending. This often comes from deeper beliefs about deserving things or feeling like saying no to a purchase makes you boring or restrictive. Ironically, this guilt can push people to spend just to relieve the discomfort of saving. How to stop it? Reframe saving as a form of self-respect, not deprivation. Every dollar saved is a vote for your future stability, not a punishment in the present. The ninth sign is making significant financial decisions in the moment without giving yourself any time to think them through. Big purchases made in impulse are rarely about the item itself. They're usually about chasing a feeling, excitement, relief from stress, or a need for instant gratification. How to stop it? For any purchase above a certain amount, decide in advance on a personal rule, waiting 24 to 48 hours before committing. If the desire is just as strong after that pause, it's likely a genuine decision rather than an impulsive one. The 10th and final sign is simply not having any specific financial goals at all. Without a clear destination, it's incredibly easy to drift financially, spending reactively instead of intentionally, because there's nothing to measure your decisions against. How to stop it? Write down one specific, realistic financial goal for the next 12 months. It doesn't need to be complicated. Having any clear target dramatically improves the quality of your daily financial decisions. So let's quickly recap all 10 signs. Celebrating payday by spending, avoiding your bank account, relying on credit for lifestyle, comparing yourself to others, not knowing you're spending, abandoning budgets, delaying investing, feeling guilty when saving, impulsive big decisions, and not having any clear financial goals. None of these make you a bad person with money. They're just patterns, and patterns can be changed once you're aware of them. The truth is, most financial struggles aren't about lack of knowledge. They're about these small, repeated behaviors that quietly work against everything you're trying to build. If you recognized yourself in several of these, that's actually a good sign. It means you now know exactly where to focus. If you found this valuable, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps this channel grow. If you want to see the habits wealthy people build instead, I've got a video on that right up there. But don't click it just yet.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Make
Click
sure
the
to
bell for
subscribe
more.
if you want to grow your wealth. I'll see you over there.